right, thank you, Adam. Duke City Repertory Theater has just kicked off their 6th season with their production of Death and the Maiden, a tale of repression, doubt, and survival. Guess what, folks? It's wrapping up this weekend. Here with more on the show, how you can see it before it is gone. Katie Becker-Colon and Amelia Ampuero of Duke City Rep. Ladies, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
So, just talking about this show, I mean, it's a pretty heavy plate of theater to catch in one night.
Yeah.
But I think it's a pretty important story, and I think it's a really strong script. So tell us a little bit about it for folks that maybe have never heard of this show before.
Yeah, it is, Death and the Maiden is the story of Paulina and Gerardo. They are a married couple, and one night they encounter a Good Samaritan, and Paulina, who was a political prisoner 15 years ago under a tyrannical dictatorship, believes the Good Samaritan to be the man who held her prisoner.
And did other things.
Yeah.
That's why you got to go see the show to get the full experience
exactly.
of it. But this is kicking off your 6th season. A heavy show to deal with. Why choose this to start the 6th season?
Well, I think that October lends itself to the sort of tone
Sure.
of this show. You know, thrillers, things that are challenging. And then in terms of like the personal connection to it.
Right, yeah. My parents are Bolivian immigrants. They knew people. Ariel Dorfman is an Argentinian Chilean playwright and wrote this about what was happening in Chile during the 1970s with Pinochet. And my parents knew people who were living in Chile at this time who had been taken to the stadium. And this is nothing new for people from Latin America and from several parts of the world. So it's extraordinarily relevant, sadly, today.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know about the personal connection to it, Amara.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I think is also interesting, I mean, Duke City Rep, you guys are always pushing the envelope. You bring the highest level of professionalism to the theater in New Mexico. You actually brought in an actor to work on this show. Tell us a little bit about this actor.
Yeah, so his name is Dr. John Hardy, and he is based in Virginia and has been working professionally for over 30 years. But we, the two of us and 2 other actors in our company, they were trained in Virginia at Barter Theater, and he's the one who trained us.
Okay.
So he's an incredible artist and an incredible human, and what a treat to bring him here to Albuquerque and work with him. And we're really passionate about bringing people in because we, as a repertory company, we work together a lot. And so we bring people in so that we can continue to, you know, build our skills and bring professionals from everywhere to New Mexico.
Yeah, that's great. Well, so 6th season's on. You guys have had great success here. How does it feel? 6 years in, and you guys are still working really hard and still receiving. I mean, 4 years in a row that you won Best in the City. Is that right?
That's
Yeah.
That's
correct.
great. So obviously, you guys, you're doing it correctly.
We hope so.
Yeah.
We hope so. Yeah, it feels like we're really starting to hit our stride, and we're really sort of we're gaining our reputation. We're building that reputation. We as a company are really hitting our stride in terms of the work that we want to do and the way that we want to do it. So it's all exciting from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think one of the secrets to the success, aside from, you know, the production value, is your dialogue that you have with the community. I think that's pretty important. And you guys actually go a little bit step further, trying to foster that dialogue, that artistic dialogue with your community. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's called the DCRT Dialogue, and it's a post-show discussion that we started implementing last year. And it is, we invite the audience members to stay, and there's a moderator who's outside of the company, so that the audience can feel comfortable saying what they liked, but also what they didn't like and what didn't work for them. And it's interesting because we've seen people who've stayed for the dialogue after every single show, and their vocabulary is growing. You know, they're able to identify, like, I really liked the set, but I didn't care for the costumes. I liked this actor and his work, but I questioned this. And that leads to more engagement and commitment to the work, which can only be good for audience members here in
Do you
New
find that
Mexico.
you guys grow as artists from these dialogues, so it's not just benefiting them, but benefiting you, bringing the work that's important to them?
Yeah. It's also, definitely, and it's interesting to see how Death and the Maiden is a perfect example of this, how the show resonates differently with different people, which lets us know that our work is affecting people, but also that we don't have the control to dictate, like, you are going to feel good after this show, or you are going to think this. We go out there and we try to live in that world as honestly as we can for the 2 hours that we're doing it, and the rest is out of our control, which is
Yeah.
a really freeing thing.
Yeah, could be a little terrifying as well, too. So Death and the Maiden running one more weekend at the Cell Theater, is
That's
that right?
correct.
Okay, so guys, October 8th through the 18th, as you see, Thursday through Saturday, 8 p.m., Sundays at 2, is that right?
That is it.
Is that the best way to get tickets, DukeCityRep.com?
Yes, it is.
Okay, fantastic. Ladies, have a good rest of the run. And again,
you.
guys, for
Thank you.
more information, for a full recap on Death and the Maiden with DCRT, head over to KRQE.com. We'll be right back.